fantasy. You could say a little, or you could say a lot. Dreams are what you ask for, real is what you got. Take a few shots with a queen on the line, a rose in the middle, with love on the side. It's all a vibe tonight. It's all
Real Fantasy
a
Podcast
vibe tonight. Make sure you tune in tonight.
Yo, 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 it's your girl, Victoria Rosa. And I have Mika, the creator of Content Creators, on my podcast. She the one that makes shit happen for people to make shit happen. You hear me?
Hey, what's up, girl?
What's going on? So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mika.
Okay, so my name is Jamaica Shatek Murphy, but, AKA Meek the Creator. And, of course, I'm from Brooklyn. Everybody just always have to hear
New
that.
York. Hey.
I have to always represent that. And I'm just glad to be here tonight with you.
Thank you.
The superstar, my girl.
Ooh, don't make me blush. So you came down here from New York. How old were you when you came down here from New York?
I was 15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a big difference when you moved down here?
Oh, God. Yes. Listen, okay. We came in May, at the end of May, and at that time, school was ending for you guys here. Yeah. And so I had to sign up for school, and I cried, like, going into school, even though I was going to be there 3 days. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
They didn't have metal detectors. I was like, so anybody could just come in here and shoot people up?
Yeah. See, we didn't need that. As you noticed, we didn't need that down here.
But for me, like, when we had to go in school, like, we had metal detectors. We went through 2 metal detectors before, and they checked you. Like,
pat down?
Yes.
Oh, the shit was real in New York, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes. I went to August Martin, which is in Queens. But so when I got here, I was like, oh, okay. This is what we doing. It's okay. This is how it is.
We done made it a reality. Oh, my God.
Yes. So I automatically, excuse me. I automatically was like, as soon as I can, I'm getting out of here. I'm going back home. Like, I just was
look,
like,
you still here.
yes. And I love it. I do love it here now. I love home as well. That's never gonna leave me.
Yeah.
But I do love it here.
Okay, so what's the difference? Because you were young. Do you go up there to visit often?
I have not been since the pandemic, but before then I did go.
So, what the difference with men up there?
Oh, God.
Like, what's the difference? Because I'm going to tell you my opinion, and I haven't really dated a guy from New York, but going to New York, Albany, Syracuse, New York, New Jersey, like, guys up north is a little different from guys down here.
Okay. I'm going to say, okay, my generation might be a little bit different, but I was raised by those people.
Yeah.
I was raised by those men. And to me, I feel like they don't come with the fakeness.
Oh, my.
Like, it's like, if I have a certain amount of hoes, then I have a certain amount of hoes, and you're going to know, and that's just what it is. Like, instead of let me try to play you and, try to hide stuff or whatever. Like, they just keep it real. Now, sometimes it's too real, and they could be, a little mad, like too thuggish sometimes, but I like a little sweet thug anyway.
Sweet thug. Like, give me a check, little hood,
Yeah. So I think that's one of the differences. I like, most of the men that I grew up with, I watched how they were just honest with the women in their life, and it was a lot,
and it was acceptable.
Yeah. for the women, not everybody. And most of the time, they was mad. The women was mad at each other. Sometimes they got along, but oh yeah,
oh okay,
yeah. It's like okay,
he's your man and he's mine too,
right? Yeah, you Monday and then you Tuesday and then Wednesday, you know, stuff like that. But they kept it real, and that was something that I adored about them, watching them. Now, and they taught me a lot. They taught me how, okay, niggas gonna say this to get this. Don't let that happen to you. So I don't think I would be who I am as a woman without the men
from New York.
Yes.
So my experience is, and maybe it's just me, they're a little bit too emotional for me.
Really?
Yeah, they get offended and passionate about a lot of things that kind of is not worry about. But then again, you know,
I think, you know what I think, because I've heard that about myself too. I think we are passionate, period. Like,
but I can understand from a woman, but from a man, it comes off to me as, whew, that's a little bit too much for me.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Oh,
and see, in men down here, it's not, they are a little bit more, how can I say it? They do tell lies. You do got the ones, they're going to hide. If it's that main girl, you're not going to find out shit unless you go looking for it. Now, I could say that's the difference between that, but it's not like an emotional, it's not over emotional where they get offended about everything or everything you do is offensive.
Do you mean offensive like in a relationship wise or just anything?
Anything. And again, I never been in a relationship with a guy from New York, so it's just like, it's just over aggressive to me.
Okay.
No, you don't. No, you don't see that.
I don't know, because it could be me different, because
you'll joke with a guy down here, and up north you be like, hold on, cowboy, I ain't mean it like that. The fuck you mean, like,
okay,
you know?
yeah, I mean, but okay, so I might see it like that because I can be like that. So so I might not think that's an issue, but you know what? I get you. It's like, it's no games.
Yeah,
it's no games.
And it's like, come on now, it's time to joke. Everything is not so serious, Yeah.
Like, calm down,
calm down, killer.
Pipe down,
calm down, killer. But
they're always on guard. That's what it is,
and maybe that's what it. Because down here, we. I'm not saying we don't have to be on guard, but it's not in Greenville. Well, lately I could say it has changed because we have more people coming down here. But it's like everybody just love Southern hospitality. Up north, you're too nice. What you got under your sleeve? And I'm like, yo,
yes, that's guarded. That's what it is. It's like, you just don't know what someone is about to do or what they're gonna say or what they're about. So it's very hard to kind of get into their psyche. Yeah, and I'm like that too. Like. I'm open, but at the same time, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to really because I used to be really aggressive, but I calmed down a lot.
Well, I've known you since, 2010 or 2009? You never came off that way to me.
Yeah. By then, I had calmed down a lot, a whole lot. And that's probably because I had a child by then. So I had to learn, because actually, I got into it with the lady at Venus.
Miss Kim?
No, not her, but it was somebody else. And she had bumped into me. And I was like, what you doing? And she was like, you acting like you want to do something. I said, well, I do. And then my daughter
my Mika, my sweet Mika, Jamaica.
Girl, listen, I done came a long way.
Lord help me now.
And my nephew and my daughter, they was like, no, don't fight. And I think that really was like a major changing point in my life, because I was always ready to get it. Like always.
But I can say when I went to New York, we had went up there for a modeling thing. My cousin got a modeling contract with a modeling agency. And you know how down south we can leave our purse on the table to go get like some salt and pepper. Well, I had like $2,000, and this was back in 2004. $1,000 in my wallet. I left it on the table. I turned literally 30 seconds later, it was gone.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a no.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know, I was naive to the fact. I was like, hey, everybody love everybody honest, you know?
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
That's I was like,
No. Like, when I go places, like, I'm wearing a certain type of purse because, like,
you got to have it on you, right?
Right. Like, and you better make sure you feel everything. Like,
so what is home to you? Is this home to you, or is the Bronx home to you?
Brooklyn, not
Brooklyn.
Bronx.
I'm sorry.
Don't
mean to
not
cross barrels.
Not the Bronx. No, not them. Not. But Brooklyn is home to me because it made me. The person I am today, like, it's because of Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Like Brownsville in particular, Bed-Stuy in particular. If I did not grow up there, if I didn't learn the things that I learned during that time, I wouldn't be who I am today. So that's home. I love Greenville and I love everything that's growing and happening here, but that's definitely home to me.
I can say I was sheltered to the fact that I trusted everybody.
Okay.
And I believed in everybody. And to this day, I still see good in everybody because that's just my heart. Like, and even with the situation when we was at that night at the club, everything's going to be okay.
Right.
You know? But over the time, I wish I would have known a little bit more to be cautious about my surroundings before I allowed the stuff to happen. But that's what made me.
Yeah, and you know what? That's also things in our life happen for a reason. Mm-hmm. Like, even though, okay, you may be like, okay, I had to learn this lesson the hard way, but you actually learned something, and it's going to stick with you forever because it probably hurt so much.
Right.
Like, but the fact is, just don't let it keep being a repeating lesson for you.
Because that makes you insane.
Right.
I could tell you this story. I was still in high school and was getting ready to graduate, and a Spanish guy, we were like real close. Spanish guy, and he met my mom, he met my grandma and all that, and we used to go up to New York and Florida back and forth. At this time, I'm not thinking anything of it. But as you got older, like, we was actually doing, we had to be doing, So when I had my first child, I said, you know what? God saved me, because the path I was going on, it was just like up and go. No questions asked, just doing.
And that had probably because you were sheltered. It was like you want to do something different. Like, oh, this is exciting. Let me get in this car. I'm like, I ain't asking
we partying, we drinking,
hey.
And I'm not gonna even lie. He was a good person, but in the same sense, it was like we know what's going on after the fact. And I'm just like, if I would have known better then, would my life would have been altered or changed? Or is it because I learned, okay, God protects the foolish, and one guy gave me these kids and said, slow down, miss, because you're doing too much, So, being sheltered is it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. And that's with my kids, I try to separate it and then try to combine it to let them know, like, hey, look out for this, look out for that, look out, know?
Right. That, I believe that's the best way as well, because you do want them to learn. I think I was in the middle because I'm a PK as well. And my dad.
Hold on, what's a PK?
A pastor's kid. Or a preacher's kid.
The only one who could ever reach me.
So, like when they be like church girl, and how they was like church girl was made for me. Oh yes, that was made for me. Mm-hmm. So because my dad was strict. He was very strict. But before that, before he became a pastor, my family was into everything. So, everything. So it was like I knew about this, I knew about that. Mm-hmm. So I was in the middle, like just in the middle, sheltered a little bit, not sheltered, but I would say
strict.
Yes, very.
And then it gets strict and knowing too much. So
yeah, so it's like I think that did help me though, like just being in the middle. I think I'm still that way.
Yeah.
To this day, like I don't think people know how to take me because I'm a turn up queen. I can read you a scripture. I can preach to you. I can be spiritual. Package. Yes. So sometimes people don't know how to take me, but I think that's my life experience that made me full.
Yeah.
And it was a time where I always thought I had to be one thing.
Yeah.
And at one point it was what people wanted me to be as a pastor's daughter.
Yeah.
And that's because of what they expect. And a lot of times I was just shut out. The real me was shut out. Who I was shut out. But when I learned that, I got to be all of me, that's when I shine the most. When I'm all of me. If you can't take all of this, then you don't need to be in my life.
Right. Because I'm like this. I am hyper. I'm sensitive. I am an emotional train wreck. I get to talking about life and then get to talking about what you want to do. It's either or, you know what I'm saying? And I have this conversation where I tell them, like, it's no in between with me. It's either 0 or 100. And a lot of people can't. A lot of people can't get that because I can't. Like, it's no because if it's then I'm like
Yeah, I can move on to the next thing like quick because I think that's the same thing with me. Like that, I go from 0 to 100 so quick.
Oh God, and
like,
it's like
yeah.
1 second you like smiling, and the next second you like hold up, bitch.
Yeah,
try. I let you slide one time, but it's getting a little bit too much.
Right. Yes. And then in a corporate situation or things where it's supposed to be business, sometimes too, you have to catch yourself. And for me, I get that a lot. I do, because people look at me, they think I'm young, or because I wear a certain type of clothes, they think I'm not educated, so they think they can check me. So then that's when you have to check them in a professional manner.
Checkmate, bitch.
Right. Because, look, I'm still from the hood, so let's not get that twisted.
You get that nice nasty. That's what it is.
I've actually been called that, and I take it and I love it because
I take it around with
it. Yes. I take it and I wear it well. Yes.
So I want to get into. So I know that you work with a lot of people in Greenville.
Yes,
and you have put a lot of people's social media platforms on. Do you mind, or is it going to be confidential? Can you name some of the people that you work with, or can we get into that?
Yeah, we can. Sometimes some people don't like it so much. So let's say I'm gonna just keep it confidential.
Okay.
Because some people, if they don't want people to know who is running their stuff, and I always be like, it's up to you if you want to say anything.
Understandable. So I get it. And see, I know the inside. Oh shit, I know the inside scoop on it. So I know like a lot of people that you work with, and I'll just be like, I'd be so amazed. Like, how the hell do you do it? Like,
I think I have maybe multiple personalities because a lot of times, a lot of people don't know what to say.
Yeah,
and I'm not in all these people fields, so I have to figure out your tone. I have to figure out what you like, and I have to figure out about your particular business.
So you tap into your alter ego like Beyonce, huh?
Yeah, well, a lot of different alter egos. Yes, I think so. Oh, you trying to get me drunk tonight?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, a glass or two ain't gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely not.
So, which I kind of figured that before I wanted to ask a question, but I was trying to squeeze it out to you.
Look, so, you sneaky with it.
I did. I tried to sneak that in.
That's why
there.
you're trying to give me more wine.
Just to open up a little bit. So I know, since we're not going to name no names, when your clients come to you, what's the main goal of building a platform? Is it money, fame, or investors?
And that's what I ask them. What do they want?
Uh-huh.
Because It has to be what their why is. And
what do you elaborate on what the why is?
And that's not just social media, because I'm a brand strategist. So that's your entire brand.
And I want to pause on this. I'm going to insert this. She do websites, content creations. She does branding. She does all of this behind the scene for a lot of locals that's up there.
Not locals, but that's just
So let me find out. You go to Brooklyn, right?
I have people in Brooklyn, but I have clients really all over California, Florida,
That's
like
amazing.
Georgia, just all over. And those actually seem to be the easiest.
We picky here.
I think sometimes when people have more access to you,
it becomes a little bit more tedious.
Yeah, because the other people, they just be like, okay, yeah, whatever. Just whatever. I don't care. Just whatever. I like what you're doing. Okay, great. Like, but here it's like, they want to see me all the time. And please, y'all don't get offended, because y'all know how y'all are.
Right.
They want to see me all the time sometime, or it's like they pull in a little bit too much, or they don't like if I'm doing more with somebody else. And so that's another reason why we have the right. It's like, well, you doing stuff for them, you ain't do that for me, and all of this, and
that's not what we discussed, baby doll.
So it's like, okay, but I do ask, what is your why? What do you want for your brand? Do you want to become bigger? You want your brand to be bigger? Do you want investors? Do you want to make more money, or do you just want to be popular? What is it? And that's how we figure out what to do based on what they say. Now, sometimes I don't like their answers.
Because you be like, no, we better than that.
Exactly. Like,
we
exactly.
Better than that.
And, or I'll look at it, I'm like, let me see your books to your business. Well, it looks like you need more money. So let's focus on that.
Let's focus on it. So, and I know a lot of people mindsets is, I want to be famous. I want to be famous, and then they think they famous, and then the money comes behind it.
Right. And we all know that that's not true. Like, it's not. It's so many people that have millions of followers or hundreds of millions of followers. Some people have hit records and they don't have a dime.
Yeah.
They live in the projects. But we are confused with like the glitz and the glam. We get blinded. We see what other people have too much and we want it. Instead of what makes you happy. What satisfies you in your home? What satisfies your life? Like all that stuff that's shiny and shimmery in somebody else's life, you don't even know what's behind the doors. Like, you got a lot of these so-called gurus out here like, yes, buy my class for $199 and you will get 100 million followers. Look at my lifestyle. And they walking around with their purse and they body snatch that they paid for, or a car that they rented, in a bag that they bought from their friend, and you're going to pay $199 for their course, and you're not going to make a dime because you didn't really learn anything, but you're looking at them jealous of a life that they're faking.
Yeah. It's all acting.
Yes.
Yes, just pretend. So, so when you talk to your clients, do you explain that to them, or?
Yes, I do. And I'm very blunt. Like, I try not to be too blunt and hurt their feelings, but I don't want to lie to them about things because I don't think that's fair. I want an open and honest relationship. So if they have issues in their life, sometimes, because it goes beyond just a strategist. Like, because I always say, if your life not right, your brand not going to be right.
Ooh, speak that shit. What do you mean by that? So, because I know the saying is, if your closet ain't clean, your life ain't clean.
Right.
Shit that you got in the closet, you need to clean that out. So,
yes. So if you have things going on in your home, and every night you go home, you arguing with your man or your woman, or you having problems with your kids, that's going to come across in your business. That's going to come across in how you treat your clients. It's going to come across in your content when you make videos or you do stuff. So if we don't handle that stuff first,
But that goes into how can you, as being who you are, how can you help the person that you're working with change that?
We do counseling.
Oh my motherfucking
goodness.
Yes.
I'm a life coach, so we do counseling. We talk. We work through things.
That's amazing.
If I have to get them a therapist, I will find them a therapist. I have done that for plenty of my clients. Found what they needed to get to a healthier place, because to me that's most important.
Yeah,
like I don't care. Money is really nothing to me. Like, so it's not like I could just be like, okay, your life a wreck. Okay, just pay me, just send that invoice money.
Right.
Like, but it's not about that for me. It's about making sure that brands actually grow. But you can't do your best if everything is messed up at home.
Right.
You can't. Like, I've seen it. Like, you cannot. You're not your best when your life is a mess. So I want the best for you. Like, my business is 24K Enterprise, and I always say we want to do our best to make you shine.
Yes.
Like, so whatever we have to do to help you get that way, we're going to do that. And if I don't have it, I know the people that can do that for you.
So you do like a what do you call it? I know you set up a consultation. So how soon do you realize that this person is like emotionally out of whack? How long does it?
Before we even get to a sit down face to face, I can know. And when we on the phone, sometimes I can tell that there's something deeper here.
Right.
And for some reason, I don't take everybody. I don't. I have to align with their purpose.
Yeah.
So I do have a certain type of questions that I do ask people.
Morals.
Yes. I want to know, what are your goals? What's your why? Why are you even doing this? What's your purpose in life, period? So that if you just say, I want to make money, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to work with you. Because there are going to be bad days. And on those bad days when you're not making money, you're not going to have that goal attitude. You're not going to get up and go. And I'm a hustler. I like to work. And if I see you not doing it, I'm not going to do it for you. So when you say, I want a better life, even if you want to have a better life for your children, that's different. That's going to make you get up and go. But you just want to be, right. But if it's just about making money, those times when you're not making enough money, you're going to have an attitude. You're going to be funky. You're not going to want to get up. You're not going to want to, it's going to be lost. So I need to know you have what it takes to keep going when on those bad days, because we all have them. Like up and down, up and down, up and down. No matter what business you in, that's what it is. So I need to know, look, because I go hard. I go hard for people I love in my family. I go hard for my clients too. So I need to know what I'm signing up for. If I'm going to go hard for you, I need you to go hard for yourself as well.
Right.
Because I go to the back. I go all the way.
So I want to ask you this too, with working with clients, and especially married clients. Clients that are married, and I know sometimes with entertainment business, it's just acting, but it portrays to be a little bit of too much for the spouse. Do you have any issues with that? Because, like, entertainment is acting, so you have to portray something. Like you said, is what they're portraying is not real life, it's acting, which a lot of people don't understand that. That's why I teach my kids too. But does it cause issues and turmoil at home, and how do you deal with that?
With them and with my clients?
Yeah, that's married. That's married.
I have a few that have had that situation. And what I tell them is, what's more important to you? Like, sit down with your spouse and ask them what they feel comfortable with. But don't just do stuff because you want to do it. Talk to them and find out.
Sometimes it don't click to the spouse until the shit happening. It's
right.
like, oh.
And so I asked them, is it worth it? Is it worth it to argue at home, or is it worth it to do this? So, and that's on them. If they tell me, hey, I'm a go, they gonna figure it out later. I'm with it. But I always encourage them to have that conversation, because I don't want nobody coming at me like, oh, you told my wife to do this because then we gonna have to have a problem. Like, or you told my husband to do this, because it's men that, you know, if I know they look good, I'm going to tell them to do certain things. I'm going to tell them to make themselves look a certain way and appealing to women, because that's what people are looking for. Exactly.
I had a conversation with somebody, and I was like, you know, she managed her husband. The husband sings. I said, in the sense of where are you trying to go to? Is this man going to be a family man involving his family, or is he going to be a ladies man? Because if he's going to be a ladies man, you're going to have to allow him to interact with women.
Exactly.
Which can be a touchy subject.
Right.
If you want to portray it as him being a family man, then that's a whole different market that you're going to have to
build that character.
And you have to look into it and make it so. If you want him to sell records and be great, I got a wife at home, but I'm a ladies man. Know that when he go out to shows, women gonna approach him. How is your mindset?
Right.
Are you secure about this?
Right.
Or you're not?
Right. I don't know if you watch what's that show, Love After Lockup?
I have seen a few episodes. I don't just tune into it, but
and it was one guy on there. He was in jail, and but before he went to jail, he was a rapper. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he had long hair, you know, not my type, but he's handsome. And his wife, when he came home, she was like, you know, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. But his manager was like, I don't want you to wear a ring. I don't want her at the shows. And she was tripping. But I'm like, okay, how do you think he's paying for the things that you have? You're driving a BMW. You have this ring. Like,
I get it too. I'm gonna tell you an instance. I went to California, and I went up there to actually go up there and like meet some producers and stuff. So as I'm talking to the producer, we had went out the night before. Take it. I had went from work, California, still up, so I hadn't been asleep for like 17 hours. I'm tired. I don't have a Chanel bag. I'm not wearing no Gucci. I'm not wearing Louis Vuitton. I didn't bring, because I didn't come down there for that.
Right.
Came down there so we're at the club. So after I'm talking to him, he was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice you in the club, but you're very attractive." He was like, "So what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, you know, I want to do music. I have certain things that I've done in South Carolina." And he was like, "Well, tell me a little bit about yourself." I said, "I got 2 beautiful daughters. That's the world to me." He was like, "Whoa, why would you talk about kids?" At that point, my whole mind shut down. So I asked him, I said, "So you want people to act like they don't have children?"
Right.
And I knew, like,
and
California would never be for me.
Especially women. It's so difficult for women in entertainment.
Because everybody wants to fuck.
Especially in the rap game.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, Lord Jesus. The whole Sexy Red situation, I don't like the treatment that people are giving her, because it's like,
it's false. It's just
like, let her be her. That's all. That's what I just want. Like, we don't need to come down on her as a whole community, because we know people just like her. We have cousins just like her.
My thing is, and I'm going to have to disagree with you on that Sexy Red situation, only because, to me, it's just, And
I feel that, but I just feel I just say, if you don't like it, because I'm not bumping Sexy Red in my car, but I don't want to come down on her as an individual.
I do. Sukiyano, what's her name? Red, what's her name?
Sexy Red.
Sexy Red.
Yes.
And I'm not saying, because even Cardi B sings about the stuff that them two sing about, but to me, it's just like, do
you feel like it's going too far?
It's a decent approach that you can have with it.
And I feel like at one time people thought that about Lil' Kim.
But I'm gonna tell you, Sexy Red, she can't rap to me. So that's what, me being an artist, that's what irritates me the most.
And that part is one thing.
It's just mind-boggling to me how that is acceptable when it's not mainstream entertainment.
Right. And like I said, I'm not her music is not my cup of tea. However, I stand for women, especially black women, allowed to be themselves.
But in the same sense too, I'm from the South. It's a place and time for everything. It is a place and time for everything. I'm ratchet, but I'm not gonna go to my corporate job and act fucking ratchet. No. So in the sense of it being said, okay, be you, but be you in the sense of being able to be presentable. Like Little Kim, you didn't see her on red carpet dropping to the floor, crawling on the floor, or no shoes.
I understand, but then remember the whole titty out thing. I'm sure,
which was a mistake. It wasn't intentionally done. This shit is intentionally done.
I mean, like, remember the outfit that she had? I know her
areolas was covered up,
but think about our mothers and grandmothers probably like, what in the world is this? So it gets a little bit worse because they're young. They're younger.
They are, and the thing
they're
is
younger.
Too,
I'm not saying that they're right. I just feel like we need to kind of.
I like her on her Instagram. I like to see who she is there. But when you go out to places, I'm not saying change who you are, but sometimes change your approach.
And I think that if we did not have so many people coming down on them, eventually, because look at how Cardi evolved.
Cardi did evolve. Also, Cardi, when she did that ratchet shit, she did it on her social media where we knew her personally. But when she went to take care of business, it was business.
And it's like, but that's the thing. The things, it get a little worse. It always get a little worse. It do.
So,
but I feel like it's a way that we can correct.
I feel like as a woman in hip hop and in the black community that also have children, I feel like it's no guidance there. I feel like it's no morals. The thing is, these people are coming on, they don't have any morals. And how are you supposed to teach your kids? Like, it's hard. It's even hard to even keep them away from it because all the shit is popping up on social media.
And that's another thing. Like, instead of us promoting the negative, because you will see people like, I can't believe she did that, and you see all the stuff, and you keep seeing people talk about the negative. Why can't we switch that and talk about the positive? I don't see people talking about Dreezy. I don't see people
Dreezy.
See, look her up. She's a great rap artist, in my opinion. Like,
because she's not mainstream. So with that being said,
you people don't talk about Rhapsody. It's a lot of women out there that are great artists and not doing that. But we promote so much of the negative.
I'm not necessarily saying that what she's doing is completely bad, but it's you have 100%. 80% she doing shit that doesn't logically make sense to me, and maybe because I'm a little old school, it doesn't logically make sense to me. It doesn't. It's not even art to me anymore. And to me, it's
she
porn.
Was different. I think that if she was regular, and I actually need to go back and look and see, would she be as popular? And sometimes
she is a regular smuggler girl.
I mean,
and I'm not gonna knock her props for what she got.
If her hair, if she came outside, she had black hair, or she just had a ponytail.
It has nothing to do with the black hair.
I think it's all the whole package.
It's to me
that people seem to be.
I might be a little biased because
you intrigued by some things.
I'm irritated at the fact is you can make millions of records. Now, I know I'm lyrically inclined. I know that I could rap about some shit. You can go make a song that say, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown, and that's promoting it. And it's like, okay, like, it's no substance to it.
It's not. But I don't necessarily blame her. I blame the people behind it in the culture. What if she just came like your lyrics and your things you do? If
her hair don't have nothing, the way she looked at has nothing to do.
If people sometimes people don't catch hold. Sometimes you got to be super extreme for people to catch hold. Like,
so
whether it's good or bad.
In that sense, is it false pretense that you selling when you're not really like that? Because ain't no fucking way that you're really like that. You're selling
in a way, I do think that. I believe that. I do think it's like a kind of character type thing. I do. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I believe that it is. It's, you never know, because that's why I said I'm about to go do some research on that. And see how did she look before and how did she sound before? What type of music did she put out? Because sometimes people try and nothing pop, and it's like, well, let me come out and just be crazy. Because same thing with Lil Nas X. He had put music out before, and then now, when he came out, it's like, oh, people are intrigued because it's so out there.
Even if you came out with, the way that you are, I feel like as human beings, we're supposed to elevate and evolve.
And we should be authentic.
And even if that's authentic, it's still some kind of elevation. And I get it. I get it. She don't have kids, right? She got kids. Yeah, she got kids. She got kids, right?
I'm not sure. Because I
seen the interview. She said her baby daddy was calling. So it's like, okay, you got here with that. What are we gonna do to evolve? And what are we gonna do to? I guess I can't say. Maybe she been herself. I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes. Interested. I'm just interested. Like I said, I don't listen to her music at all. And it's
however, I don't like the way people come down on her so much.
And you have a lot of I was listening to a lady on TikTok, and she was talking about how she ministered to youth and have people look up to her, and one of her songs, she was talking about chlamydia and gonorrhea. And half of the kids didn't even know what chlamydia and gonorrhea was. They was just rapping it. And I believe that anything that you put in the universe, it's going to come back to you, or you speaking it into existence. That's just the type of person I am.
And you know what? That's why as parents and people that have more, you should have more influence. But if that comes up in a conversation, that's a perfect time to be like, if I was a minister, which I am an ordained minister, I just don't practice, I would actually, and I have done this in situations, okay, this is what this said, now let's have a lesson about this.
And I believe that too, but you have to think a lot of kids see a lot of things that they don't discuss with their parents.
And that's a problem. But that's not necessarily the artist's problem.
That's 98%. And even if you try, and of course it's not the audience. But me personally, and I'm not saying this for everybody, I just don't understand it. And I mean, what
I try to tell people
is a catchy line.
Turn it off. But somebody's actually, people are still listening. If it bothers you that much, stop listening. Stop. But even after she performed on the BET Awards, that's all people talked about. When I didn't want to focus on the negative, I wanted to focus on how good Patra looked when she came out there at 50 whatever years old.
And then too, it was a shocker on BET Awards. She didn't have no shoes on. She was doing a lot of stuff. She was twerking in front of a pastor, and the black community is very judgmental. I'm not gonna lie. Especially down south, yes, and it was in Atlanta.
I have a problem with that.
I mean,
I do.
And that goes back to all the things I was saying with mental health and what we have been accustomed to as black people, and how we just have been told that that's not right.
Right.
That's not right.
But it's always going to be something that people say is not right. And so that's why I feel like we should be less judgmental and maybe more guiding instead of judgmental.
People don't want guidance. Because people want to do what the hell they want to do. And
judgmental, because it can always be, it's always going to be something that somebody else finds judgmental.
And that's why I say, me personally, I don't care for it. Me personally, I got songs where I talk about, slopping that thing down, doing a little bit.
And then maybe like somebody be like, "Oh, girl, why you do that? Like, why are you talking about that?" So we all have to be what we think is best for us. But I'm just interested to see how this plays out in a little while.
Too I get what you're saying, but I get irritated with the fact is this is my opinion.
And see, and that's and that, but see, and that, and then, and I think
for you
have
also, opinion
like
about anything.
For you, oh Lord, yeah, like,
and that's what a thin line too. So some people be like extremely strong on this because you can't
I think
voice
it's
your
a difference between opinion and judgmental.
It's the same thing.
I feel like it's different. I do. Because
if I have an opinion about something, I don't like it, I'm gonna be very judgmental about it. So it's the same
I can
thing.
have an opinion, but see, no, you can have an opinion like I like these shoes, but that don't mean you're casting down on another person.
I don't like them shoes. Ooh, girl, I don't like those.
See, okay, well, maybe I don't do that. I can have an opinion, but it's very difficult for me to be judgmental. And I don't know if that's just in my DNA or something like.
So
and
explain to me so I can try to understand, because again, I could say I've never been a jealous person, and jealousy comes with judgmental, and jealousy comes with a lot of things, but when somebody has an attitude about something, I'll be like, well, why do you feel that way? You have to be jealous, and I can't understand that. So explain to me about being judgmental and having an opinion.
Okay, I have an opinion on politics. Let's say I have an opinion on that. That's an opinion for me. But me being judgmental is, I would say it's a little bit different, because I'm like, oh, she shouldn't do that. She should be a better person than that. Because I don't want anyone to take that mirror and put it on me. Basically, that's how I look at it.
So maybe I'm not judgmental. I'm just opinionated.
Maybe. Because, yes, because I just be like, okay, somebody might not be doing something that you personally like, but then you might not be doing something that somebody else might not like, and it just keeps going around and around and around.
If it's nobody that I don't care about, I'll be like, girl, fuck you.
Because I'm basically, this is what I say. I always say this: fuck them people. Because I don't care what nobody think about me.
All right,
I really don't. You can judge me. You can talk about me. You can have an opinion on me. I'm going to be Jamaica all day, every day.
Every day.
And I feel like everyone should. As long as you're not harming another person and harming yourself, you should be your complete self.
So even with that being said, because I'm on the borderline with this. People that have mass influences on, of course, the younger generation. Is it their duty to teach them, or is it their duty to be themselves once you be in that platform?
I do think you need to be aware of the power that you have.
So that's what
you need to be aware of the power that you have. However, it's very difficult to be policed by everything.
So I guess that's where me being my mother instincts come from. Where
yes,
it's more up, and I can't say.
And when my daughter grew up, I didn't censor anything, and I don't know, like it came up and we talked about certain things,
and I will talk about it if it comes up, but I prefer you not seeing it unless I bring it up. You know what I'm saying?
And we all have different parenting styles, and I think we all just are different. We have different lifestyles, like we have different ideas, and that's what makes us so wonderful as a people. And I don't know, I'm really weird. I find people interesting, and I find different people interesting.
I absolutely do. I do.
And then you're at a stage where your girls are very impressionable, and so you have to be extremely careful,
and that's the thing.
And you're looking at that, and I totally get it. I'm not saying, oh girl, I'm not sitting up here like saying, oh yes, we need more of that music, clap it up, listen, no,
twerk it over. But when it becomes everything about music, even with Lil' Kim, even with Foxy Brown, even with female artists, it was a balance. Trina, Nia, but it was a balance. It wasn't the men and the women doing it. It wasn't like, it was like equally yoked to me. Now it's all we were on the trip going to Atlanta, and listening to R&B music with the girls in the car It was like, I want to fuck you, I want to suck you, I want to get you. and I'm listening, and I'm like, oh, let me fast forward this part. They go to the next song. I want to eat your asshole. And you know, it's like, we can't even listen to R&B now. It's like,
we had to turn on country music. Go to the furthest. Like we want to just, everybody want to go further. But why is that? Because fame is so important.
Instead of morals and principles.
It's like, I gotta be the top one. She said she sucked dick. I'm gonna suck 5.
And you know what's crazy is I'm sitting here saying this. I am guilty of talking about that, but my kids don't listen to my music.
But it's just really like that. Like, and some people might be at home not even doing any of that. But it's like, oh, that's what she said. I mean, I have to do it. Like, I have to go further. And I think that happens in the generations as well. Because, okay, we had Kim, and like, I can put a Sprite can in my mouth. Then we had Trina, I'm a fuck 5 friends and all this stuff. And it's like, I know my mama probably was like, what in the world? You know, but at the same time, they had songs about white lines and shit, you know? So, like,
and he had the juke joints too. But again, I still say it was,
it's good. And I want to know what's going to happen in the next 5 years.
It was equally yoked, though.
It's going to be somebody worse than trust and believe.
It can't get no worse than
it will. It will.
But no, like, Sexy. I want to go back to Sexy Red. Sexy Red, I don't knock her for what I'm doing, but I don't like it.
Yes, and I get it.
And you, baby. Be you, sis. Do what you do.
I just feel like the more attention people put on it, the more it's going to keep going. Can we talk about the good people out here?
No, because they want to talk about what's popular, and that's what's that's the most influence.
And I'm definitely tired of hearing men talk about it. I'm tired of them.
Sexy Red.
Yes,
I haven't seen too much.
I don't want to hear your opinion. Sometimes I'm very protective of black women. Put it like that.
I'm very protective of women. Period.
I'm gonna say I'm protective of black women because I do feel it's a difference. We don't have enough protection, and people look at us different. When we come out the womb, we are basically sexual beings.
Yeah, they
feel as if, like, you know how it is, like, oh, hide them breasts, hide that ass, like everything, and you're just the way you are. You're just you, and you got to hide everything. Yeah. Like, so you
can't be you because
exactly maybe that's me speaking from a perspective of what I had to go through, but I see it a lot.
That's from, you have to think too, because I spoke about this in my last podcast. That goes to DNA embedded from trauma, from slave masters sleeping with.
Slave masters, please don't go here, Jesus. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The slaves.
Don't make me go here.
Women, when they get their period, they getting raped and molested from when they get their period. Even back in the day, okay, let's go back to 1960, right? You have women that were married at 13 years old, with men that were 15 years old, even men that was 17, 18 years old marrying a 13-year-old. That is what this was built on. That's what society, and it's not right, because in our eyes, these are babies. They need time to mature and time to grow.
I don't know if you ever watched the show Black as Fuck.
No, I haven't.
It's by Kenya Barris, who is also the creator of Blackish. Mm-hmm. And every one of those episodes is basically titled because of slavery. Any subject, I will bring it back to slavery. And I'm trying to ease up on that. But
it's not necessarily ease up off of it. It's about bringing awareness. My issue is when it comes to aggressive, and we have to be upset with our white counterparts about something that their ancestors done. I'm at the point now that we need to vibrate on such a high level that, okay, sometimes it is okay to forgive and understand that they're not a part of that society. Maybe they are going to work with us. But I do understand.
And we have to understand, so we do have to heal. We have to find ways to heal from that, because there's a lot of things that we suffer from that definitely stems from slavery. A lot of trauma comes from that we're not even aware of. We are dealing with trauma that came from our ancestors, and even the way in relationships that we relate to each other, we didn't know how to relate to each other as black people. We learned that from how the slave masters treated us and how we saw them treat each other. So the way men treat women, Jesus,
the way men treat women, they treat women as an object. And I'm not going to say
I say that comes from what? Slavery. That's what they saw the slave masters do. That's how they know how to control.
But it's up to us to change the outcome and break that generation.
We do have to know where we come from to start doing better.
My issue, and if we're going to tap into it, and I love me a black man. I love me a black man. It's a lot of black men that's not able to emotionally understand what black women have already understood.
Yes,
and and it goes to any man. Men are predators. Men will seek out what they want, and by any means necessary, they're going to do it. And I don't want to just target, and I'm not going to target black men, because it's more rapists that's out of our race than black men.
And to be honest, who did the most first raping? They learned that from somewhere. And I'm not giving passes. I'm not giving passes.
If you want to tap into that, let's not even talk about what they learned into, slavery or what they learned about raping. If you go back to and say, I don't like to say, because I feel like I'm native to this land. I'm not from Africa. I might have some African descent in me, just as well as I might have some other descent in me, but I'm native to this land. But if you go back to Africa, you have men and women that are 12 and 13 that are having children.
That is true.
So who's to say it came from a man's? Who's to say that? Okay, if it's in my DNA, my DNA know that we supposed to mate and we're supposed to be together. Not saying coming off aggressively.
Right. Mating and being a predator is two different things.
And that's where a lot of people draw a line too. But I'm gonna make this clear. Anybody fuck with my kids, attempt to, before they hit the age of 17 or 18, I got my motherfucking shotgun ready. I don't give a damn. I that's just the mama in me. I don't agree with that. Not over here in America. That's not what we was raised on. That's not our morals as a people.
And I think not where we're going in that subject. Sometimes you do have these people that want younger women, and it's happening on the women's side too.
What do you mean
now.
Younger women? Like 18, right?
But if they 18, most of the time those men are in their 40s or something like that, because
they're able to
control
mold
them.
They're able to mold and groom them into the women they want them to be.
Right.
Which is fucking disgusting to me. I have an issue, and and this is going to be a little bit personal. Like men that like women to get their vagina shaved and everything shaved, that's kind of predatorial to me. Am I wrong for thinking that way?
I'm not going to ever tell you that you're wrong for thinking the way you think. I love when people have their own thoughts, because it just lets me know, like, you're an individual. And I do understand that.
So to me,
because it's like you want to you feel that those type of men wanted reminiscent of a young child.
And I've had a conversation with numerous people, which, no, I just like it because it looks fresher, it smells good,
right?
But in an initial thought, like, if this is natural, bushy vagina, bushy, why not leave it that way?
Right. And I personally feel women should do what they want. What makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. Like, I think too often we're worried about what a nigga want instead of what you want. And I am that. I'm a womanist. So
you're a feminist?
I'm a womanist. It's a difference.
Tell me the difference.
The difference is because as a womanist, we have to be different. As a black woman, it's different. We have to also be concerned with how we deal with our black men. Most of the time, when people are feminists, it's just they're not concerned about men at all.
I can't. Me personally, I can't see a black woman being a feminist because we always care about our black.
And that's the difference of womanist and feminist.
Which you broke it down. Like,
yes, because it's like our issues are different. Our men are different.
Yeah.
However, when it comes down to it, I have a lot of men that's friends. I love my niggas, my homies. I do.
And see, I understand a lot about that too.
I really do. Like, most of my close friends are guys. But let me tell you, I'll check them in a minute about, don't be talking about no woman like that. Don't treat that woman like that. Don't do that. Like, because we have been pushed down for so long. Like, so I encourage women, stop worrying about what that nigga think and wants. What the fuck you want? Excuse me. But what do you want?
I think it's too, when you're in a union though, it's a compromise with both, with everything.
Yes.
And to me, I don't, as black women, we will never be selfish enough to say, I don't care about what you want, because we have to heal that black man.
And trust me, I do. I believe in all that. I am a healer, but I don't like for it to be to the point where you lose yourself.
Yeah.
That's a problem for me.
I get that.
That's a problem. Like, where you don't wear your hair a certain type of way just because this man said he don't like it, but you like it. You just doing it because of him, because he said he gonna go mess with somebody else. Because I'll tell you in a minute. Go ahead, bro. Do your thing, partner.
Do you, baby, and be easy. Yes, I love it.
Because I just want women to understand you have power. Because if you bow down to everything he say, you cannot heal him. You cannot be the power that he needs.
You're gonna be that mother figure that.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, you so hard, you hard. Trust me, my husband, he likes me like this because I'm his backbone. And I posted something today where TD Jakes was like, I want a woman that know how to fight, that know karate. Look, I'm a soldier.
Right.
I'm a soldier. Listen, and he know it.
I'm 100% behind my man, baby.
Listen, because he know he not gonna be able to push me over, and like.
But in the same sense, do you understand that it's situations where that man needs to be a man to be a man?
Oh yes, but you have to. If you totally forget who you are as a woman, you can't even help him.
Yeah, because if you can't help yourself, you can't help the next person. You can't pour from an empty cup, and that's what I do need women to understand. It's not doing what you told, but it's being where you and him can complement each other. I'm his heart. He his brain. In order for you to function, you have to have me.
Right.
So that's why I need people in relationships to understand we coexist together. Without one, it's not
Correct.
another.
Correct.
You could do the thinking, but know that I'm the one that pumps the blood through. I'm the strong backbone. I'm the one that actually send blood, oxygen to the brain for it to function. In layman's terms, so it has to be a compromise. You can be brain dead, but your body still go on. But if that heart stop,
know though,
the whole
I'm
thing.
not going to judge. Like I said, I'm not judgmental. If you want to be that woman, like, the lady on Coming to America, whatever you like, go for it. Go for it. If that makes your house peaceful and that's what you like,
do it.
It's just not going to be me. That's not going to happen.
Behind every great man is a great woman. You hear me?
So, I mean, go for it. People, and that's another thing. Relationship goals, I don't believe in that. No one is relationship goals.
I'm not gonna set no goals because
I think every relationship is different because we're all different
and
beings.
every relationship should be at the point where it needs to elevate and not to be at the point where we're gonna be at the relationship goals. I like that. I want to stop. No, baby, let's build with
and evolve.
Evolve as one. So with that being said, being evolved, being great, being a black supporter, being of a black man, being a woman of a man, being that heart that connects to the brain. We're going to end this podcast. And Jamaica, Mika, the creator of content creators, let them know where they can find you. And what's the name of your business and how?
My business is 24K Enterprise Consulting, and you can find me at Meet the Creator everywhere, or on Facebook, Jamaica Shatek Murphy. Yes. And you can catch me around. Basically, just catch me when you can. Basically,
yes. And I call her Mika because we got a pass. So y'all call her Jamaica 24K. Consulting business, right?
24K Enterprise Consulting. Yes.
Enterprise. Make sure y'all look up if y'all want any details about how to run your business, how to take care of this. And also, she told us, if you need therapy, she's the one you connect to. And again, thank you guys for tuning in to Real Fantasy Podcast. We love you.
Real Fantasy. You could say a little, or you could say a lot. Dreams are what you ask for, real is what you got. Take a few shots with a queen on the line, a rose in the middle, with love on the side. It's all a vibe tonight. It's all a vibe tonight. Make sure you
Real
tune in
Fantasy
tonight.
Podcast.